I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time for the Red Sox of 1946 to come back. The Boston Red Sox Cyber 46 replay on Retro Sports Network. And before we get into today's Friday's game against the May 3rd against the Cleveland Indians, let's tell you briefly the standings. The Red Sox are in first place by a game and a half over the Yankees. The Tigers, who dropped 2 out of 3 at Fenway this week, are third at 2 games back. Then it's the Browns, the White Sox, the Indians that you're about to see, the Nationals 5 back, and Philadelphia 7 back. Tex Houston, let's see, did they play yesterday? Yeah, they did. Tex Houston took the loss yesterday. Virgil Trucks took the win in Detroit's 1-0 win over Boston. And on Wednesday, May 1st, the Red Sox beat the Tigers 6-4. Dreiserword 1-0 and Manders 0-1. So, Don DiMaggio is second in the American League, hitting .400. Rudy York is fifth, probably tied with a bunch of people for home runs with 3. He leads the American League with tied for the American League with Tommy Heinrich with 15 RBI. The Red Sox are ever going to steal enough bases. Bobby Doerr leads the league in runs with 15. Pesky is third at 12. Boo Ferris, who I think we might see today, is ninth in the American League in ERA at 1.57. Harris, Houston, and Ferris, Kramer, and Chandler all have 5 wins. Houston could not get his 4th yesterday. Mace Brown has 1 save. Tex Houston second in the American League with 32 strikeouts. Red Sox has a team hitting .294. That ties them with the Nationals. And their team fielding percentage is .971, which is second to Cleveland. And as far as starting all-stars are concerned, the Red Sox have Doerr, Johnny Pesky, and Ted Williams. So, in a moment, it's the Cleveland Indians and Boston Red Sox. From a rainy Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, Retro Sports Network presents Boston Red Sox Cyber Baseball 1946. Today, May 3rd, the day of the Kentucky Oaks. It's the Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians from Fenway Park. I'm Ron Juckett, and we should have a good one for you. Mickey Harris is on, I forgot his name, is on the hill for Boston today, and he's looking for his 4th win of the year as they play the Cleveland Indians here at beautiful Fenway. It's a middle light rain. It's 75 degrees, hardly a breath of wind out there, so kind of a cooling shower as we get ready for our first broadcast for the month of May. The Red Sox come into this in first place. As you know, they are 12-5. The Indians are 6-8, and surprisingly didn't play very well because it was just 2 years later that the Indians and Red Sox would fight all the way down to the end of the year, and the Indians would win a 1-game playoff right here at Fenway Park. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Mickey Harris, the lefty. He is 3-0 on the year with a .333 ERA. He has pitched 27 innings, 34 hits, 2 home runs allowed, walked 13 and struck out 12, and the league is hitting .309 off him. But yet he's 3-0, and with a win today, he would lead the American League in wins. In real life, he was a 17-game winner. .364 ERA, 17-9, 222 innings, 236 hits allowed. He gave up 18 homers, walked 76, and struck out 131, so he can only really kind of pitch better from there as far as batting average is concerned. Here is a lineup that he'll be facing this afternoon. George Case leads off and plays left for the Tribe. Makowick bats second, plays center field. Pat Seary, the right fielder, bats third. Fleming, the first baseman, bats fourth. Ken Keltner, the third baseman, bats fifth. Lou Boudreau, the manager, and the shortstop, bats sixth. Hayes, I wonder if that's Gabby, I doubt it, is the catcher batting 7th. Meyer, the second baseman, batting 8th. And Embry, that's not Allen, is the pitcher, he'll bat 9th. Around defensively for Harris, it is Williams in left, DiMaggio in center. He's still sitting on a 13-game hitting, now on a 13-game hitting streak. Mekovich in right, Pellegrini at third, Pesky at short, Doerr at second, York at first, and Wagner, who was the big hero Tuesday afternoon, behind the plate. So with all that said and done, let's start this thing. George Case at 143, no homers and 3 RBI. And Case hits a ground ball, base hit right side. If you round first, and that's how this one starts. Felix Makowitz, the batter. Felix at 235, 4 for 17, no homers and an RBI. Case has a 94% chance of getting second base by himself on a steal, so the throw to first, runner back. Here's the pitch. Case goes, ground ball to first. York takes it to the bag himself for the easy out. Case moves up to second. And so they do the hit and run, and that moves up the runner. Here is Pat Seary. Had it 316, no homers or RBI, 6 for 19. Harris, pickoff throw to second. Dorr has him back to the bag. Had a 69% chance of getting third base on a steal, and now it's down to 21. If it's over 66%, I'm going to throw over. Here's a pitch to Seary. There's a fly ball to left. Williams goes back to the track, and that ball is into the screen. It's a home run for Cleveland, and the first on the year for Seary, and it's 2-0. Here's Les Fleming, 208 on the year with 2 RBI. So I'm not sure, with the exception of that game at Fenway Park, if the Sox have actually led any game early on during the game. I think they haven't lost yet in this replay, at least the games I've done, but they've come back and won most of them. Here's a pitch to Fleming. There's a fly ball to left center. DiMaggio moves over and makes the out, 2 out. For Ken Keltner, Ken at 250, 2 homers and 8 RBI, would hit 241 on the real year. Pitch to Ken, line drive to first. York has it, and that retires the side. Not before the Indians get 2 on a Seary home run. Off 2 hits and no errors. After 1/2 of 1 inning, it's Cleveland 2. The Red Sox coming up. It is Red Embry. Wow, okay. Anyway, so Red is 0-3 on the year with a 3.13 ERA. I was thinking Allen, who pitched for the Red Sox much later on. Red in 23 innings has allowed 15 hits, 2 homers, walked 10, and struck out 11. On the real season, 8-12 with a 3.47 ERA. Defense, let's do the Red Sox lineup. It's Mekovich leading off in right field. Pesky will bat second. Williams bats third. Teddy's only hitting 226. Bobby Dorr cleans up. Rudy York will bat fifth. Down to Maggio, hitting 400 on that 13-game hitting streak, will bat sixth. Wagner, as I said, Tuesday's hero, will bat seventh. Pellegrini bats eighth, and Harris will bat ninth. Defensively around Embry, it's Case in left, Makowicz in center, Seary, who's not a right fielder, will play right. So the best defender actually is Case in left. Keltner at third, not off his... he was a tremendous defender in his day, but this is towards the end of his career. Boudreau at short, Meyer at second, and Fleming at first. Boudreau and Fleming are the 2 better defenders in the infield, and Frankie Hayes is a good defender, 8 range, and has a great arm at 9. All right, so here's Catfish Mekovich. He's at 361, a homer and 13 RBI. Sox trail 2-0. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball right center. Makowicz will watch it hit in the triangle, and Mekovich is on with a double. So the Red Sox lead off with an extra base hit. That'll bring up Pesky, who's at 329, no homers and 9 RBI. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Meyer should have it. He does, 1 out. Red Sox in their home white as Ted Williams steps to the plate. The Red Sox across the chest and the blue hats with the unoutlined B. Cleveland in the road grays. Cleveland in red letters and blue outline written across the chest. Blue hats with that red C that you normally would associate with the Cincinnati Reds. But Cleveland had it for a while. And you can see the nice racially charged logo for the Indians on the screen. Williams at 226, 3 homers and 10 RBI, but he's walked 21 times. This is the Red Sox 18th game of the year. For the Indians, it's number 15. Williams pops it up. Hayes takes off the mask, 1 up. Oh, it's a foul ball. Got back to the screen. I jumped ahead. A ball and 2 strikes to Ted. Here's the pitch. Second line, fly ball to center. Back goes Mekovich to the track. That will be caught. Mekovich scampers back to second, goes to third, so 2 out. And it'll bring up Bobby Dorr, who's at 304, 2 homers and 12 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to short. Boudreau to his right. Throws it over to Fleming to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1, it's Cleveland 2, Boston nothing. So Lou Boudreau was the batter with Hayes and Meyer to follow. Boudreau at 268, no homers and 5 RBI. Harris delivers. Grounder right back to Harris. Over to York, 1 out. Bring up Frankie Hayes. Frankie at 158 on the year, no homers and 3 RBI. The backup catcher for Cleveland. I believe that's NY for the Giants on his hat. Harris delivers, struck him out. 1-2 breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. So 2 quick out for Dutch Meyer, who is 3 for 7 on the year, 429. On the real season, 232, no homers and 16 RBI. Red Embry on deck, should Meyer reach. Pitch from Harris, grounder right back to Harris. Over to York, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1.5 in the books, 2-0 Cleveland. So Embry comes back out for the second. He's on 13 pitches. Harris, a tidy 30 through 2. Rudy York, a tidy 290, 3 homers and 15 RBI. Pitch to Rudy is a line drive into right. Siri should have it. Siri does have it, 1 out. So here's DiMaggio at 400 on a 13-game hitting streak. He's 20 for 50 on the year with 7 RBI. Most of those hits have come off of singles. He only has 2 doubles. Pitch. Well, he draws a walk. So no at bat that first time up. Full count, missed outside for ball 4. Here's Hal Wagner, 278, 2 homers, and 9 RBIs. That second homer, the extra inning blast to win the game against Detroit on Tuesday. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Siri to the track and makes the catch for the out. DiMaggio thought about going to second, but did not. So that brings up Eddie Pellegrini at 184, 3 homers and 8 RBI. DiMaggio on first, 2 out. If Pellegrini should reach, it'll be Harris. And there's a line drive in the left. That's going to catch the wall. It's going to do more than catch the wall. It's gone. So the Red Sox have tied the game on a 2-run shot by Eddie Pellegrini. That's his 4th of the year. That's amazing. And so we are tied at 2. So here's Mickey Harris at 091, no homers and 3 RBI, 1 for 11. That 1 hit was a single. Embry delivers, ball 4. Here's Catfish Mekovich. He started the game with a single for Boston. There is not a threat to steal at first. 2 out. There's the pitch. There's a pop-up, third base side. Keltner looks up into the raindrops and makes the catch. Not before the Sox get 2 runs on an Eddie Pellegrini home run. We go to the third, 2-2. We read Embry, and then Cleveland will flip the line of Case and Makowitz. Embry is 0 for 8 on the year. Harris has not pitched great, but at this point, it's a no decision. Here's a pitch to Embry. Here's a base hit in the left field. Williams cuts it off, throws it over, and Embry holds with a single. So that's the 3rd Cleveland hit. Here's George Case. He singled and scored his first time up, scored on the Siri homer in the first. Harris walks him. So Mickey having some trouble. That's his first walk. Makowitz 0 for 1. Runners on first and second, nobody out. 3rd inning, or top the 3rd, and a 2-2 tie. Makowitz lays one down. Wagner lets it roll foul. I don't even see that. Makowitz, as you can see from that picture, spent some time with the Philadelphia Athletics. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Harris. There's a ground ball to third. Pellegrini has it, eat him up alive. And so it's an error. He tried to throw it before he had it in his hand. That happens every once in a while, but the bases are loaded. There's nobody out, and here's Pat Siri, who hit 26 on the real year. His shot in the first was his first. Also his first 2 RBI. Harris delivers, and there's a ground ball up the middle, base hit. Embry will score. Case will hold at third. It's 3-2 Tribe. Brings up Les Fleming, who's 0 for 1. It's going to be one of those days at Fenway Park, it looks like. Pitch to the lefty. Fly ball left center. DiMaggio ranges over. He has it. Case tags and will score without a throw, and it's 4-2 Cleveland. So here's Keltner. Ken is 0 for 1. Here's a pitch. Mankiewicz goes for third to throw down. He has it stolen. The second steal of the year for Mankiewicz. So 1 out, runners on first and third, and a 1-0 count to Keltner. Here's the pitch, foul back behind the plate, so it's now a ball and a strike. Harris is kind of wondering why, kind of shaking his head. In the real year, the league only had 268 off him. In his replay, it's 311, but he hasn't lost a game yet. 1-1. There's a base hit in the left field. Mankiewicz will score. DiMaggio cuts it off. Siri will hold at second, and his runner is on first and second for Lou Boudreau, who's 0 for 1. Here's a pitch. Here's a line drive in the left center. Williams has it. Siri will hold at third. No. Throw's coming home. Siri beats it, and that'll make it 6-2. And here comes Frankie Hayes. Not sure how much longer I'm going to leave Harris in for. Pitch-wise, he can go a lot, but in 2 1/3 innings, he's allowed 6 hits, a home run. They all earned? I'm not sure, but there's a home run, a walk, and a strikeout, and a lot of earned runs. Here's Hayes. Hayes is 0 for 1. He's the lone strikeout. Here's the pitch. He got him. So an 0-2 pitch on the inside part of the plate for the second out. And that'll bring up, I think one of those runs is unearned. So 6 runs, 5 earned. Here's Meyer. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Dutch is a ground ball, line drive up the middle, base hit. Keltner will score, and they throw in for Boudreau, and it's 7-2. And that'll bring up Red Embry. Cleveland has batted around here in the third. He singled and scored. Pitch to Embry. That's going to do it for Harris. Ground ball, right field, base hit. York should have had it. Boudreau will score. It's now 8-2 Cleveland. And we're going to bring in Earl Johnson. For a nice long relief outing. He started 1 game this year. Didn't even make it. That's what I think that was like a 15-11 game that we had. No record, a 22.09 ERA, 3 innings, 9 hits, 2 home runs, 2 walks and a strikeout. Here's Case. Case is 1 for 1 with a walk. He has scored twice. Here's the pitch. Runners on first and second. Grounder to Door. He runs it on the grass, throws it over to York, and the inning's finally over. 6 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. After 2.5, it's Cleveland 8, Boston 2. Oh my goodness. So Harris, 2 2/3 innings. The error was on Pellegrini. 8 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned runs. He walked 1, he struck out 2. Threw 66 pitches, 45 strikes, 21 balls, and the ERA balloons to 4.55. So that's the line on Harris. Oh boy. Well, the Sox have some work to do if they're going to come back from this one. Here's Pesky. Johnny's 0 for 1. Embry delivers, and he strikes out. He strikes out 29 times on the year. We're going to do about 50 games, I think, by this replay. 4 of those strikeouts have come on the replay for a guy that struck out 29 times in almost 700 plate appearances. Here's Teddy Williams. Teddy's 0 for 1, and he's hitting 222. Embry through 2 1/3. He's allowed 2 hits, a home run. Both runs are earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 1. Pitch to Williams. He strikes out. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. So Embry, who sat for a long time, apparently is fresh and new. Here's Door. Bobby's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left. Case is there. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, it's Cleveland 8, Boston 2. Makowitz, Siri, and Fleming for Cleveland. Makowitz is 0 for 2 with a run scored. I bet he's the one that reached on the air by Pellegrini. And there's a line drive right to center field. DiMaggio dives and makes a great catch. He had a 55% chance of doing it, and he does. Saves a hit. And so Earl Johnson is grateful for that. Here's Pat Siri. He is 2 for 2. He had a 2-run shot in the first, and then an RBI single in the third. Has scored twice. Good pitch from Johnson. Ball 4. So here's Les Fleming. Les is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Here's a pitch. Popped up. Wagner should have this one. Mask comes off. And there's 2 out for Ken Keltner, who's 1 for 2. Single, RBI, and a run scored. Pitch from Earl. Siri goes with 2 outs. Fly ball to left. Williams has it, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3.5, it's the Tribe 8, the Sox 2. Rudy York, the batter, 0 for 1. Embry delivers, struck him out. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Don't forget DiMaggio, who's sitting on a 13-game hitting streak. He's walked and scored in the second and scored on the Pellegrini home run, which seems like it was 6 years ago now. Here's the pitch. DiMaggio swung on him, missed, strike 3. So Embry has struck out 4. Here's Wagner. Hal is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Siri has got it, and that retires the side. Not before the Red Sox get no runs on no hits and no errors. After 4, it's still 8-2 Cleveland. Lou Boudreau, Hayes, and Dutch Meyer for the Tribe here in the 5th. Boudreau 1 for 2. Single, RBI, and a run scored. Earl Johnson in relief. Ground ball to third. Pellegrini has that. Throws it over to York for the out. So Johnson 1 2/3 innings and has allowed a walk. Just what the Red Sox needed. Here's Frankie Hayes. He's struck out both times. He's the only Clevelander not to either have an RBI or a run scored or a base hit. Here's the pitch. He does now. That's a ground ball into left field for a base hit. So here's Dutch Meyer. Dutch is 1 for 2. He's single and an RBI. Hayes not a threat to steal. First hit allowed by Johnson. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Meyer, fly ball to right. Back goes Mikovich to the track, and he makes the catch. Hayes retires or retreats back to first, and I'll bring up Embry, who is 2 for 2. 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Embry, ground ball to third. Pellegrini, and that's off his glove. That's the second error. And the faithful who are left here kind of grumble. Here's George Case. George is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and scored twice. And so runners on first and second. Cleveland hoping to end their 8-2 lead. Here's the pitch. Case draws a walk, and so they're loaded. So Johnson, who was cruising here, has hit a roadblock in the 5th. Makowitz 0 for 3 with a run scored. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit, left side. Hayes and Embry will score. Case goes to third. Makowitz stops at first. and it's 10-2 Cleveland. 2 more unearned runs thanks to Pellegrini. The Red Sox have had 5 unearned runs scored on them today. Here's Pat Siri, 2 for 2, single, homer. A 2-run shot in the first, a single in the third. Drew a walk. He scored twice. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, pop up. Pellegrini hopefully has it. He does, and that finally retires the side. 2 runs, 2 hits on the Pellegrini error. We are halfway home. If the Red Sox pull this one off, I'm going to find a hat and eat it. It's 10-2 Cleveland. So here's Eddie Pellegrini. He is home running his lone at bat, proving the only 2 runs the Sox have scored, but his errors have led to 5 runs for Cleveland. There's the pitch. Fly ball to left. George Case will look up, and that ball is gone. Another home run for Pellegrini. His 2nd of the day, his 5th of the year, and it's 10-3. I'm sure if sabermetrics were involved, as the rain has finally stopped here at Fenway, that if sabermetrics were involved, they'd be exploding with that day. The 2 big errors, which have allowed 5 Cleveland runs to score, and then he's driven in all of Boston's 3 runs. Here's Earl Johnson, 0 for 1 on the year. And he draws a walk, so maybe Embry will have another bad inning here. 79 pitches for Red the first 2 times to the lineup. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 home runs, both by Pellegrini. All 3 runs are earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 4. Here's Bekovic. He's 1 for 2 with the double. And there's a ground ball to second. Meyer, that's off his glove. And so instead of a double play, it's now runners on first and second, nobody out for Johnny Pesky. Meyer booted it with his foot. So here's Pesky. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch to Johnny. Up the middle. Meyer does get there, and a quick throw to first in time. I thought that was a base hit. He robbed him of a hit. But the runners move up. Johnson on third, Bekovic on second, and here's Ted Williams. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Williams hits a line drive into right field. That will score Johnson. Here comes Bekovic. The throw will come home, and Bekovic is out. So Siri got it on a pretty good bounce and had a solid throw home. Bekovic had a 72% chance of scoring that run. He does not, but it's now 10-4 as Williams picks up the RBI. Here's Bobby Doerr. Bobby is 0 for 2. Williams on first. Here's the pitch. Doerr, fly ball to left. Case should have it. He does, and that retires the side. Not before the Red Sox get 2 runs on 2 hits in a Cleveland error. We've played 5 on the back bay. Kind of a dreary 76-degree day. It's Cleveland 10, Boston 4. So it'll be Les Fleming, Ken Keltner, and Lou Boudreau here for Cleveland in the 6th. Johnson probably his last inning. You can see the fatigue warning on the screen. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks. No earned runs. Both of those runs for Cleveland were unearned. Fleming 0 for 3 with an RBI. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Bekovic should have it. He does. 1 out. I didn't look to see who the Red Sox are playing next week, and so I can't tell you that. But rest assured, we'll have 2 more Boston Red Sox games from 1946 for you. Like I said, if they come back and win this. Anyway, here's Keltner. Ken is 1 for 3. He's single, scored a run, and has an RBI. His 9th of the year on the RBI total. Here's the pitch. He got him. Swing and a miss on a 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. So that's Johnson's first strikeout, 2nd of the year for Johnson. Here's Lou Boudreau, 1 for 3. Single, run scored, and an RBI. Boudreau now has 6. Here's the pitch. There's a grounder right back to Johnson over to York, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Johnson has bought himself another inning. With that, we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 10-4 Cleveland. The Tribe have 10 runs on 10 hits and an error. They've stranded 5. As Rudy York steps in the box, the Red Sox have 4 hits, 4 runs. It's a good thing I'm not dyslexic because I read that backwards. 2 big errors by Pellegrini, and they've stranded 3. Rudy is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Embry through 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs. I think they're all earned. 2 home runs allowed. He has walked 3 and struck out for the home runs, both by Pellegrini. Pitch to York. Popped up. Right side. Myers there. 1 out. Here's Dominic DiMaggio. Dom's still sitting on a 13-game hitting streak, as you can see in the graphic. He has walked and scored and is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pitched in from Embry as a fly ball to left. He's going to can't get it this time around. I'm sorry, pop up to Keltner, and that's 2 out. Here's Hal Wagner. Wagner is 0 for 2. Embry delivers right back to Embry. Just put the glove up and make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Through 6 at Fenway as the rain has started again. It is 10-4 Cleveland. It's a light rain. I don't think we're going to lose the game here, or might have a delay. There's not a lot of people here. Day game on a Friday afternoon. Frankie Hayes, Dutch Meyer, and Red Embry for the Tribe here in the 7th. Frankie 1 for 3 with a single. He has struck out twice and scored a run. And he will line that one up the middle for a base hit. So Hayes is 2 for 4. They'll bring up Meyer, who's 1 for 3. He also has an RBI single. Hayes and Case do not have any RBI. So Johnson, let's see if we can milk him through this inning. He will scheduled to bat second in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Meyer. Rounder to short. Let's see if they can get to it here. Pesky the door for 1 over to York. Yes, sir. They turn it. So 2 out. So Johnson has pitched 4 tremendous innings. Here's Red Embry. Red is 2 for 3 with an RBI and has scored twice. Pitch to Red. He draws a walk. 3rd walk allowed by Johnson. Here's George Case. George has walked twice. He's 1 for 2 and scored twice. The 1 hit was a single, and that was the start of the game. Pitch from Earl. Popped up. Pesky should have it. Onto the grass, and he does have it. So that retires the side. No runs, 1 hits, no errors. After 6.5, it's stretch time at Fenway. In the rain, it's Cleveland 10, Boston 4. So here's Eddie Pellegrini, who has had a Mary Hartman day. You know, as the old soap opera spoof had a bad day and had great things happen at the same time. Louise Lasseter is a woman that played her. That was 30 years later in 1976. My mom was a fan of that show. Mary Hartman. Anywho, Pellegrini is 2 for 2. He's homered twice. He's driven in 3. But his 2 errors are one of the big reasons why the Red Sox have a massive hill to climb here as we start the 7th. Pitch to Eddie. He strikes out. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. So Embry through 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 homers. I believe, only 3 of the 4 runs are earned for Cleveland for Embry. He's walked 3 and struck out 5, and we're going to pinch hit for Earl Johnson here. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to pinch hit for Earl Johnson here. We're down 6. And Earl happens to line this one into to left for a base hit. Here's Mekovich. Mekovich 1 for 3 with a double. Only the 5th Red Sox hit. They've stranded 3. Pitch to Catfish is ball 4. So a walk. And Hayes really didn't like that. Says something to the umpire, Jose Feliciano, but nothing more will happen with that. Here's Pesky. Johnny's 0 for 3. If you're wondering about DiMaggio and his hitting streak, he will bat 1 more time at least. So it's 10-4. Here's Pesky. Runners on 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Pitch from Embry. He draws a walk, so they're loaded for Ted Williams. Good. So if the Red Sox have a chance, it's right now. Williams is 1 for 3. He's singled. He's driven in a run for his 11th on the year, and he struck out for his 3rd strikeout of the year. Door and York to follow. Here's the pitch. Williams up the middle, base hit. That'll score Johnson. Mekovich will hold. They don't want to run out of. They think they have a chance, and they think they have it right now. Here's Bobby Doors, 0 for 3. That's 12 RBI on the year. That's Teddy Logan's second hit and second RBI. 10-5 now the score. Pitch to Door. Got him! Oh, on an 0-2 breaking ball, strike 3. 2 out for York. It was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Embry, kind of tired at this point. They can get York. That'd be huge. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive, right center field. That's going to fall. Mekovich and Pesky will score. Williams goes to third. That'll be it for Embry. As Tom Ferrick comes in to pitch. We have a pitching change. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it is now 10-7 Cleveland. Ferrick, as you can see from his baseball card, did spend some time with the Philadelphia Athletics. He is 0-1 on the year with a save, a 9 ERA. In 4 innings, he's allowed 4 hits, 2 home runs. He has not walked anybody and struck out 1. On the real year, it was a 5 ERA. No record, 18 innings, 25 hits, 3 homers. He walked 4 and struck out 9. Here's DiMaggio. Donnie is 0 for 2. He has walked and scored and struck out. And this is his last guaranteed at bat if he wants to extend that hitting streak. It's 10-7. The Red Sox have 3 here in the 7th. And DiMaggio puts that one up through the middle. It goes to 14 games. Williams will score. York is on third. DiMaggio, the tying run, is at first. And Hal Wagner now is the go-ahead runner at the plate. What a 7th inning for the Red Sox. They have turned this back into a game. They were down 8-2 in the 3rd and 10-2 in the 5th. Wagner's 0 for 3. Herrick delivers, and that's a line drive base hit into right. York will score to make it 10-9. That goes all the way to the wall. DiMaggio's going to round third, and he's going to score. They've tied the game. Are you kidding me? They have scored 6 here in the 7th to tie the game at 10. Cleveland was up 10-2 in the 5th. Unbelievable. Here's Pellegrini, who's the reason why Cleveland has 10 runs. He is 2 for 3. He has homered twice. He now has 5 on the year. He only hit 2 in real life. This, of all the games that we've done so far, maybe the most bizarre. I mean, the Red Sox should have been dead to rights, gone. Here's the pitch. Pellegrini, fly ball to center. Mekovich should have it. He does. And that's the inning, but not before the Red Sox get 6 runs on 5 hits and no errors. We played 7. It's Cleveland 10, Boston 10. Here's Johnson. We're going to give him a base runner. It's Mekovich, Siri, and Fleming here in the 8th for Cleveland. Felix is 1 for 4. 2 RBIs, a single, and a run scored. Johnson delivers, strike 3. 1-2 pitch, got him. Here's Pat Siri. Pat is 2 for 3. He has singled homer, driven in 3. Scored 2 and walked once. He draws a walk, and I think that'll do it for Johnson. No, we'll give him Fleming. We'll give him the lefty. Les is 0 for 4 with an RBI. Here's the pitch. Yep, that'll go right to the wall. It's going to be extra bases. Williams has it, and it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. We're going to walk Keltner. And have a pitching change. In the top of the 8th inning, the bases are loaded. It's going to be, can't pitch back. Going to be Wise or Brown. Goodness gracious. It'll be Mace Brown. Mace is 0-2 with a save and an 8.31 ERA. In 4 innings, he's allowed 7 hits, walked 6, and struck out 2. So Boudreau's up with the bases loaded. Red Sox will play for 2. An amazing game. An absolutely amazing game. It's 10-10 now in the 8th. It was 10-2 in the 5th. Boudreau, I don't know if I went through the specifics. 1 for 4, single, run scored, and RBI. Brown delivers, and there's a base hit in the left center. Siri will score. Fleming should score. No, he doesn't. It's an RBI. They cut it off, so it's just a 1 run. Death by paper cuts here. Frankie Hayes, he's 2 for 4. He has struck out twice, singled twice, and scored a run. Brown delivers, and that's a walk. So Fleming does score. It's 12-10 Cleveland. Here's Dutch Meyer. Dutch is 1 for 4. RBI single. Pitch from Brown. Ground ball right back up the middle. Brown throws home for 1 out, and that's all they're going to get. So it'll bring up the pitcher, Tom Farrick. I wonder if they're going to bat him here. 12-10 Cleveland. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Farrick went 2 for 3 on the real year. Well, they're going to pinch hit Gene Woodling, so we'll see a new pitcher for Cleveland in the bottom of the 8th. Woodling 1 for 6 on the season with 2 walks. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right center. DiMaggio should have it, and he does. Not before Ray Mack will be in to play second. So I think Don Ross in to play right, and Joe Krakowskis is the pitcher. Krakowskis is 1-0 on the year with no ERA and a save. 6 innings, 3 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 1. He will bat 9th. Mack, a good second baseman, will bat 8th. And Ross will bat 3rd. So Ross will bat 3rd. Mack will bat 8th. And Krakowskis, the pitcher spot, remains at 9. Speaking of pitcher spot, here's Mace Brown, who will not pitch anymore today. McBride will pinch it. Tom McBride at 4.29, no homers and 4 RBI. So the Red Sox have already climbed an 8-run hurdle. Let's see if they can climb a 2-run hurdle. McBride, ground ball to short. Boudreau comes way in. Bang, bang play is in time. 1 out for Mekovich, who doubled to start the game. 1 for 3. Run scored and a walk. Pitch. And there's a ground ball to Boudreau again, who makes a diving stop. Throws it over to Fleming in time for the 2nd out. So here's Pesky, who's 0 for 3. He has walked and struck out. He has scored a run. And he hits a ground ball up the middle. Mack just comes into the ballgame, throws it over to Fleming, and that retires the side. So we go to the 9th. It is Cleveland 12, Boston 10. So McBride will stay in the game and play a ride. Randy Heflin comes into pitch. This is the 3rd time that we've had him. 2-0 on the year with a 1.93 ERA, 4 innings, 4 hits, walked 3 and struck out 2. And he would now move into the 1 hole. So here's George Casey. He is 1 for 3. He has walked twice and scored twice. Heflin delivers, and there's a ground fly ball in the left field. Base hit that Williams misplays. So Case moves into second. That's a single and an error. The grass is slick from the light rain, but Williams should have had a better play on it. Eflin throws to second. Case. Oh, goodness gracious. Pitch out. Case goes to third to throw down. He's safe. So the Red Sox try to avoid the stolen base, and they don't get it. And it happens anyway. That's what I should say. So Case is on third. Nobody out for Makowitz, who was 1 for 5 with 2 RBI, a strikeout, and a run scored. Infield plays in. Makowitz to Dorr, throws it the first one out. Part of the Red Sox order: Williams, Dorr, York, and DiMaggio. So that run is actually big. Here's Don Ross. Don is 2 for 10 on the year with an RBI, 268 on the real year, 3 homers and 14 RBI. Defense plays in again. Fly ball to center. DiMaggio has it. Case will tag. There will be a throw to the plate. Here's Wagner. Oh, he's safe. Well, it was a little late, so it's 13-10 Cleveland. 13 runs on 14 hits in an error for Cleveland. They've stranded 9. In all candor, this is a game that Cleveland should have won easily. The Red Sox, 10 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. Here's Les Fleming. The Red Sox have stranded 4 so far. Fleming is 1 for 5. He has doubled, scored, and driven in a run. Here's the pitch. He walks. Here's Keltner. Ken is 1 for 4. Single. Walked. Struck out. Scored and has an RBI. Pitch. Fly ball. Base hit into left field. Williams picks it up. Fleming goes to third. So runner is on first and third for Boudreau, who's 2 for 5. He singled twice and driven into. And it's a ground ball in the grass. Pesky over to first in time to retire the side. No runs, or 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error. That was by Williams. Ed Kleeman comes in to pitch for Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Tribe lead 13-10. Let's tell you a bit about Ed. He has not pitched this year, so in real life, no record is 6.60 ERA, 15 innings pitched, 18 hits allowed, no homers. He walked 10 and struck out 2. So if there is someone that the Red Sox want to face here, needing 3 runs to force extra innings, this is probably your guy. Here's Williams. Ted is 2 for 4. He singled twice, scored 1, struck out once, and drove in 2. He now has 12 RBI on the year. Here's the pitch. Williams hits a line drive into right field. That will drop for a base hit. Ross flings it in, and that will be it for Cleveland. Bob Lemon comes in. Lemon, well, he's a better alternative. 1-0, the record with a 5.06 ERA, 5 innings, 4 hits. He has walked 5 and not struck out anybody. On the year, 4-5 with 1 save. 2.49 ERA, 94 innings, 77 hits, a home run allowed. He walked 68 and struck out 39. Williams on first. Dorr, who's 0 for 4 with a strikeout. He's not done much of anything today. Here's the pitch. He draws a walk, and so the tying run comes to the plate in Rudy York. And that'll be it for Lemon. It says Don Black, but it showed me Jay Black. Don Black, don't understand this one. 0-1 on the year with a 2.45 ERA. 3 innings, he's allowed 3 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 1. In real life, 1-2 with a 4.53 ERA, 43 innings, 45 hits. 5 homers, he walked 21 and struck out 15. York is 1 for 4. Single, driven in 2. Scored a run and struck out. He is the tying run. Excuse me. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball to short. Boudreau to back for 1 over to Fleming. That's 2. And so 2 out. for DiMaggio, who has a 14-game hitting streak now, 1 for 3. A single, an RBI, and 2. He scored twice. He walked once. Tries to extend this one. Ground ball to third. He will not extend this one. Keltner to first. And the game is over. So the Red Sox go down today to start this 3-game series. And the Cleveland Indians 13-10. So 13 runs for Cleveland, 15 hits and an error. They are now 7-8. The Red Sox 10 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors. They now go to 12-6. You ready for this recap? All right. Cleveland got 2 in the first on a Pat Seri homer to make it 2-0. The Red Sox would tie the game in the second on an Ed Pellegrini home run to make it 2-2. Then in the third, the wheels fell off for Mickey Harris as the Tribe sent 11 in the plate. They scored 6 on 6 hits, a walk and an error. It started with a Pat Seri single to score the pitcher Red Embry to make it 3-2. Les Fleming hit a sac fly to make it 4-2. An RBI single from Ken Keltner made it 5-2. Lou Boudreau singled home Seri to make it 6-2. Dutch Myers singled home Keltner to make it 7-2, and Red Embry singled to score Boudreau to make it 8-2. In the fifth, they sent 7 more to the plate. These are all off a series of Pellegrini errors, by the way. 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk and an error, but they only got 2 runs. A 2-run single by Makowitz to make it 10-2. You thought the lead was safe, right? No. Bottom of the fifth, the Red Sox get 2 right back. Pellegrini with a solo shot to left to make it 10-3. Ted Williams with an RBI single to make it 10-4 in the seventh. The Red Sox would tie the game, sending 10 in the plate and scoring 6 on 5 hits and 2 walks. Williams with an RBI single to score the pitcher Johnson to make it 10-5. Rudy York with an 2 RBI single to make it 10-7. DiMaggio then had an RBI single to score Williams. He extended his hitting streak to 13. And then Wagner with a 2-run double to tie it at 10. In the 8th inning, another 8-batter run by Cleveland, Lou Boudreau with an RBI single to score Seri, and then Frankie Hayes walked to score Fleming to make it 12-10. Cleveland would get an insurance run in the 9th on a sac fly by Don Ross to make it 13-10. Case 2 for 4, 3 runs, 2 walks. Seri, your MVP of the game, 2 for 3, a homer, 3 RBI, 3 runs and 2 walks. Ted Williams, 3 for 5 for Boston for 2 RBIs, and Eddie Pellegrini, 2 for 4, 2 homers, 3 RBI, 2 runs, and 2 errors. Tom Ferrick picks up the win. He goes a third of an inning, an earned run, 2 hits. He goes to 1-1. Don Black gets the save, his first of the year. Earl Johnson takes the loss in relief, kind of a hard luck loss. 4 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. He's 0-1. And so, the final score here from Fenway, it's Cleveland 13, Boston 10. Because I'm kind of curious. When we get together again, we will be at home against the St. Louis Browns on the 7th of May. And then we're down in New York for our first game against the Yankees that were broadcast on the 10th. So that's what we have next week for you. St. Louis on the 7th at Fenway, and then down to the Bronx for the Yankees on the 10th. So until then, for Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett.